I'm Kimberly. Welcome to the Red Booth Show. On tonight's episode, I have an amazing photographer, Tolga Katas, and he produces epic fantasy photo shoots and works with some of the biggest clients around. So come and get to know him. So hi Tolga.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Finally made it to the Red Booth. Yay!
I know. It's been really amazing watching all of your beautiful photo shoots all this time.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, I see your show too. We're Facebook friends, so I kind of follow you on there and see all the friends and all the guests on here, and it's great.
Thank you.
I love it. And your style, and wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I have Pinup Girl Clothing. I always have their amazing clothes. So
Yeah, they're
fun.
amazing.
You have like people that do actually create clothes for your shoots. Is that right?
Designers and stuff. Yes,
Yeah.
we work with many designers.
That's cool. So tell us a bit about like do you still do Model Mondays and stuff?
We haven't done one in a while because
Okay.
I just got super busy with all the fashion stuff, but we had this really cool concept. It was called Model Mondays, and basically if you want to become a model and you can go and get the experience of a big high fashion photo shoot, get your hair done, makeup done, and have designers there, and for a fraction of the price. So usually if a big fashion shoot costs $10,000 to $25,000, some of them,
Yeah.
and a bunch of people get together, they can do Model Monday for $149 to $249
Right.
and get the same experience, and and
No, these are insane, guys. Like this is no joke. Like he creates an entire elaborate set, and like there's people come in and specifically make the clothes for the Model Mondays for the designers.
Yeah.
And you have special makeup artists. I mean, it's
we have
a
all
whole production, right?
all great talented artists. I
Yeah.
get the credit because I snap the shutter, but everybody works hours and hours from makeup to hair, and
you can tell. I mean, it's not just a regular photo shoot at all.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it, honestly. Like it's almost like fantasy. Like you have a fantasy element to your pictures.
We get a little bit crazy with the vision, Everybody's like, "What? What does he want?"
Yeah.
I get little. It's all, to me. Like I love to create, and photography is a way for me to create really fast what I can't do. I wish I could do films, but I don't have $100 million that I could just create stuff with. So with photography, you're able to do it really fast. Mm-hmm. You are able to work with a small crew, talented crew, get your vision across. You're done that night. You're wrapped. You're editing, and a couple days you have amazing images, and it's like
Amazing
it's
images.
like, oh wow, it's so great. And in films, it's like 2 years,
I know. Honestly, that's one of the reasons I started this show, because I was aspiring to produce feature films in the independent world, and it has such a long runway.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want to shoot something that I can see like right away. And
Yeah.
that's kind of the same path that I went to
Yeah.
get to this.
It's great, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
fun.
thank God for technology and YouTube and everything, where we
Yeah.
can get to create and show it to people,
It's
and
amazing.
Yeah, because us creative people, if we can't create, we go like crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
And photography has basically gave me,
Yeah.
a way to really just express what I see or what I feel, and it's amazing. It's like writing a song.
Yeah, that's cool. And you've also been featured in a lot of magazines, and you've got a really major following, I think, in the modeling industry. Weren't you were in Vogue, right? Vogue Italy?
Vogue Italia, yeah.
Yeah.
Vogue Italia, we did a couple things. I got in Dark Beauty, we did a couple covers. Usually the magazine stuff, again, it takes so much time and so much, people are thinking that, oh, I love to shoot and it's just a one day. It's a lot of prep, a lot of time,
Yeah.
takes a couple months just even coming up with the stuff. But we had a really good run with Dark Beauty, which the magazine itself is doing incredible.
Those
They're-
images are like
Yeah.
stunning. We should show some of them right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, here they are.
When I was a child, my mother said, don't dwell on the regrets of the day, 'cause worry and fear will never fall.
This one was actually the creator of Dark Beauty, his fashion line. Topher Adam. He came up with this incredible line, and he was in San Francisco at the time. I said, look, we got to collaborate and blah, 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 blah. And he had this little magazine, it was called Dark Beauty, that had about 15,000 fans. But at the time, there was probably 3 or 4 people on the internet doing dark stuff. One of them was me, and the other one was Topher, and there was a couple other people. So we kind of collaborated. I had a friend that owned a mansion in Las Vegas. So I said, hey, can we use the mansion for a couple of days? He's like, no. I said, okay, thanks. We'll be there Thursday. And I said, did he just say no? And he's like, yeah, he said no. So we kind of worked the friend, got into the mansion, and we created for 3 days. And they were like, okay, you're done. I'm like, no, one more day. And then we got it done, and it got in the cover of Dark Beauty. From there, it started taking off. We got probably, the magazine started doubling and tripling. It was very successful for them. Very successful for me. The models in it out of Vegas, Bessiana was the cover. Yay! You can't really see her because she had so much stuff on, but she did it.
Beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
the models that I see from your photo shoots are just amazing. They're so beautiful.
Thank you.
Are they all from Las Vegas mostly? Or?
No, they're Los Angeles, LA, anywhere. You know, I just did a shoot with Aqua Cielo, which is a company out of Venezuela and Peru, Lima, bottled water.
Nice.
They had 8 models that they picked from all over the world. They flew them in, all into the
Wow.
desert, and I get to shoot, you
Nice.
know, and have fun. Yeah,
You-
they had a big tour bus, and it was lots of fun, and
A big tour bus
helicopters
full
and
of
everything.
models.
Yes,
That sounds like fun.
yes, it's a lot of fun, you know.
And you
But when
also,
you do fashion photography, you just look at things differently.
Yeah.
I mean, usually, just to tell you guys how talented some of these artists are, like you'll see a girl and you're like, I won't really shoot her. I don't think she's a model. I don't think she looks good. Blah 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 blah. Hairstylist comes in, puts her hair up, the jawline comes out, and I'm like, oh my God, what did you do? You know, and she comes to life, and it's amazing how talented the makeup people are. They never get credit, and they work so hard,
yeah.
And I mean, even look at you,
Thank you.
Pin-up girl clothing, the makeup, the hair, every time you're different. It's unbelievable. So by the way, I am going to shoot her before I leave today.
Ooh, I can't wait to see the photos.
Because I came here to shoot her, and she's like, I have to interview you. I'm like, you can't
Yeah.
interview me. I'm not. I'm behind the camera.
No,
And she's
but
like,
you are an artist. I mean, you really are an artist. Your photos are like storybooks. Like, they're beautiful.
thank you so much.
I remember I saw the one that was it was kind of like heaven and hell themed. That one, that was like a whole series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that was one of the first ones that I saw of yours, and I was like, whoa, this is not
Yeah.
normal. In a good way. In a good way.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Sometimes it gets pretty edgy, but again, it's like, I love it because I get to be Steven Spielberg in the photography world. Like in the
Yeah.
movie world, it's way too expensive. Like you can't get dinosaurs and everything destroying things, but in a photograph, it's much easier. You have Photoshop, you have talented, 4 or 5 of us can get together and create a stunning image, that can help a designer launch her brand or launch their brands or whatever, or makeup
model,
company.
too.
Or a model, yeah.
It's amazing.
And I just love creating every day. And what I love about photography is that every day we have new people, new talent coming in, new ideas. It's fresh and it keeps it going.
Yeah.
And for some people know that I actually come from music. I love music too. But music, you have to marry the artist. It takes like 2 years to get the thing off the ground. And
Yeah.
with photography, you can literally meet in 2 days and you're working and you're done,
Right.
And everything's fresh, everyone's happy, everything's great. If anybody's unhappy, the projects are small enough, you can refund the money, say goodbye, see you later, It's very easy, so it's a business that I love, although it's getting tougher with all the girls are getting so good at selfies that they don't really need photographers anymore. you
No
know?
way. Are you serious?
Yeah, they're amazing. They're just like,
Well,
I see the models at my shoots. I mean, they take photos. I'm just like, they're really good.
their selfies are so good.
I tell them to buy a real camera and start going for it. I mean, that's how good they are.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Well, because, when you have a selfie, you can, like, make sure that you really like your own pictures. So it's kind of
Yeah.
the opportunity. But that doesn't even compare to what you do.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I know you do stuff like you had the whole Land Rover commercial thing. And
Yeah,
so,
I do. I mean, I'm very, very lucky and I have really good clients. I've been there helping people out. They've been helping me out and whatever, you know. So I'm the crazy guy that runs around and says, I need $1 million worth of Land Rovers, you know, and I have to go to my friend and say, you know, I need this. And he's like, what? You know?
Yeah.
And then so we fight, and that's what you do as a creative person. You have to fight to get your vision across, and everybody's like, what is he talking about? Why don't you just use one Land Rover? No, I need 6, you know?
And that was all for a huge photo shoot for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did some really good stuff, and again, that's now really the job of a photographer, is basically convincing the client is, you know, that you can really do this and you're not crazy. Trust me, just let me get it done, and once it's done, you're gonna love it, and you know.
I mean, how could they even wonder when they see your photos? It's honestly like you.
They loved it. They were
you
so
create
great. Yeah, they were so great. They actually initially approached me. They were doing a model for Mutts, which is, we raise money for the doggies, our furry friends, which I love.
Aw.
And they said, hey, we need models. Can you do this? You know all these models. And I'm like, okay. And hey, can you get makeup artists? Hey, can you get this? Can you get that? Next thing you know is it became like our event, and just,
Wow.
you know. But it was really good. And again, I'm so thankful for Land Rover for doing all that stuff. And they help the little doggies, and they're always there for us, and they're always supportive.
I mean, that's a huge, huge company to be working with too. I mean,
Yeah.
they're obviously a huge internationally known high-end automobiles. So what do they do with all the photos and stuff from that?
They tell me, we can't use this. And I'm like, why not?
Oh no!
And then I wait, and then the next thing you know is I say, hey, Land Rover Off-Road just, you know, picked up my photo, and they start using it, and you know.
Yeah.
Because initially when you see it, the thing about a photo is you have to have shock value, you know. If your photo is normal, it's not going to get noticed. We're right now going through thousands of photographs a day, you know. You're scrolling through photos, you know, rolling through pages. So my job is to get you to stop, you know. And I try to do that in lighting, you know, get the attention, and by going dark and, you know, light, and creating the contrast. And once you get them to stop, you know, so that's the name of the game. But it's very difficult because the client usually just wants, we just want white background, and you know, and we just want normal, but normal doesn't work today, you know. It needs to be edgy, it needs to be creative. You need the artist today, you need the talented artist. Without the artist, and no brand can survive today, you know. And every brand that I ever work with, and one of them is also amazing artist behind, is Too Crave. They do these rims, and amazing company. Young guys, the business is just taken off worldwide, and they're based out of LA, Dallas, China, Japan, everywhere.
Wow.
And they gave me the shot, and I just said, listen, this is amazing. Let me do this, let me do that. They're like, okay, but they're very creative, amazing team, you know, printing the calendars and everything else. And, you know, what people don't know is a lot of the car companies, even Pirelli tires, you know, the biggest...
Pirelli? Isn't that for racing tires?
Yeah, but Pirelli tire, they have the biggest fashion, you know, their calendar, Pirelli calendar is the biggest fashion thing there is on earth, you know. So it's a very prestigious thing, only the clients of Pirelli gets it. So a lot of these brands, they need photography, and they need fashion, they need creativity in very unique ways, and they need it more now than ever, you know. So it's just one of these things that, you know, you just work and you do it every day, and every day you're just like, oh my God, they like, you know. So with Pinterest and with Facebook, with everything else, and you have to be, you know, bringing that brand to life. And usually, you know, there's this marketing department, and there's the photographer, and they just want you to say, you know, whatever you come up with, it's a no, you know. But then when it doesn't work, then they say, oh, the photographer, the photo was not good, you know. So you have to fight for what you believe. You have to say, no, I got to do this my way. You know, I tell one of the companies, I don't want to mention them, but I told the guy, I said, you know, I'm here till you fire me, you know. You got to let me do this, you know. I got to do it, and if it doesn't work, you can fire me, but I got to do it this way, you know. So it's mostly fighting for the vision of what you see and what you think the brand should be. You know, they're stuck in their brand. They know their brand better than anybody, but they don't look at it from the outside, and they don't know that their customers are going through 600 photos before they even see theirs, you know.
Right.
So we got to get them to stop. We got to get them to know, you know. So they need creativity, and somebody has to create those, and that's what basically.
That's what you do.
That's what I try to do every day, and there's
He's
a bunch
so
of us.
humble. I mean, Jesus, look. Let's take a look at some more of your photos. this is a really beautiful medieval castle.
Yes, this castle belonged to Antonio Restivo, who's an amazing pyrotechnics guy. He's amazing, amazing, amazing. Of course, I went to my friend. I said, "Hey, Antonio, I need a favor. I need a medieval castle, and I need a couple of things to blow up." And he's like, "Sure. When do you need it?" I said, "I need it Tuesday." He's like, "Oh my God, it's going to cost $400 to get trucks and move all this stuff." And anyway, it was a charity. It's my wife's charity. It's called Voices for Dignity. It helps women in need. It's unbelievable.
Wow,
So
that's
all
amazing.
all these models came together, and I was able to pull in pyrotechnics, medieval castles and everything. And we built this amazing thing about human trafficking, and these photos we gave away for free.
Wow.
A lot of things in human trafficking and domestic violence and everything is victims don't want to be photographed. So to know how bad the incidents are, you have to show a photograph, and you can't really show anybody. So, but this was a good way of showing, it's kind of like the movies. You can actually dramatize it. You can show what it's like, how
Yeah.
bad human trafficking is. So we did a couple shoots of that right away.
They're so amazing,
Yeah.
the imagery.
And this one went front page, Las Vegas Journal, it was on there. And of course, when you do stuff like this, they tagged me and sex trafficking on the same word. It says, I woke up in the morning, I take the newspaper, and it's my photo. It's full page, front page. It says, photographer Tolga Katas, sex trafficking campaign. And I was like, oh, God. But it's all doing for the good. In Vegas, it is, what people don't know, it is the world's capital of human trafficking, People are trafficked left and right there, and my wife is an expert on it. So
In Vegas?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, in vans. I mean, like the movies. Like you only see the stuff in the movies, but stuff like that. Yeah. So she helps
You're
women
talking
in
about like
need.
girls like being kidnapped and stuff?
Yes, young girls, college girls. Yeah.
That's freaky.
It's very freaky, very scary. It's nuts. But we use photography to power a lot of these things that you can't say something that's so bad, but you can show it in a photograph.
Yeah, I mean this one with the wings being ripped off, like it's a really emotional picture.
It's powerful. It's
Yeah.
very powerful. And what people, when somebody tells you something, it goes into the brain and it goes into the decision-making area. So you're like, I don't believe it. I don't think so. But when you see it, when you see a photograph, it goes directly into the subconscious. You're already sold. That is the power of a photograph. That's why, we don't want you to see very graphical images. It goes directly into the brain, There is no stop. There's no, wait a minute, this is not real. So photographs are very, very, very powerful. And that's how brands get to sell lots of products,
Yeah.
When you see the photo, it goes directly into the back of the brain, where when you're told something, it goes into a decision-making area of the brain where the brain fights it and says, no, it can't be right, whatever. But a photo, it just goes directly. You saw it already. It's done,
It makes sense.
Yeah, so that's the power of photography is amazing, and,
That's a really good way of putting it, because also, I mean, there's a ton of photographers here in LA, and I think they're going to do well to hear your advice and your experience,
Yeah.
because you've gotten so amazing at it. And the fact that you have so many modeling agencies, I mean, modeling agencies literally call you up and are like wanting you to shoot their new faces and like all sorts of things. So,
Yeah.
you definitely have
We
good
try,
advice.
we find new faces and they jump on it and it's great. And to me, you can see 50 people and one person comes out, no makeup, no nothing. You just see them, you're like, oh my God, And then the artists get to him and you're like, oh my God, So you see like a star being born. You're just like, I can't believe it. But it is real, they are stunning. And it is photography, there's not that much put into it. So at the end of the day, you're pressing the shutter. All the art is doing, the set designers built the set, the fashion designers did the thing, the stylist styled it, everything's incredible. And then you're the lucky one to snap the shot,
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, because you pulled that all together, really. Your determination got you to that point where you were able to do that. So that's really cool and impressive.
Yeah.
Have you worked with any really well-known models?
What I do is I don't do many celebrities, and when I do, I want to make sure I can create with that person, and celebrity already knows what they want. They're like, no, I don't want my hair like this. I want my hair like that. And they already have their look, so they don't really need me,
Yeah.
I am more like, I'm creating this thing. Do they fit into this photo? If they fit in that photo, then I'm all in, you know?
Yeah.
We are working with a couple of very big celebrities, you know, also some rappers and stuff for these companies. And they're great and they have their stuff and we make them fit into the scene, you know?
Can you say any of the people that you're doing those with?
I rather not because again, we live in the times of the NDA and the, you know, I'm all for tell everybody, you know, I want to tell everything to everybody, but they make you now sign contracts.
Oh, okay.
You can't tell your wife about it, you can't blog about it, you can't do anything about it till they release it, you know, and then when they release it and they're like,
Does it really say you can't tell your wife? That's
yeah, they go, yeah.
seriously?
Yeah, it's all in the, yeah, it's all in contracts. It's 33 pages of stuff. Yeah,
Dang,
yeah.
crazy.
But I'm like, wait a minute, I can't put this on my Instagram? They're like, no. I'm like, okay.
Not till later.
So I do it anyway.
Well,
No, but
the
that's,
photos
you know,
are so
there's the good side and there's the bad side. To me, I love the social media. I want people to know. I want them to be always ahead of the game. I don't want it dumped on them, you know?
Yeah.
So a lot of the people, they're like, no, it comes out on January 29th and January 29th, you know, and then they dump it. But it's nice to see it behind the scenes. It's nice to see the people and people like, you know, unless if your idea is so, you know, fresh or whatever, you don't want anybody to see this and see that. And you're like, no, I don't want them to, then it's okay. But, you know, it's fine. You know, it's all production people. We're all professionals.
What kind of modeling agencies do you commonly work with right now?
I work with smaller ones. I mean, here's the thing that modeling agency wants the girl as plain as possible. You know, they want to take a Polaroid. They want to say, here's the girl. I go to a brand. I'm walking into Sony, and they're launching a new camera, and I say, here's her face. You know, this is the new face, and I can't show that face plain. You know, that's a different sales method. This industry is built on fashion, so when they do it for fashion people, but not everybody has the imagination to be able to see. You know, some of the older executives, younger executives, they don't have the vision to see that they're working every day. You know, they're like, this is it. This is the new face of our company, you know?
Yeah.
So it's very difficult. And I know some of the girls that I work in the agencies, like I shot them, but their work is not in their portfolio. So you can't see their range, you know? Like in the old days, you used to have these comp cards, you know, where if a
Yeah.
girl rollerbladed, they would put a picture of her rollerblading.
Yeah.
Or if a girl rode a bicycle, whatever their thing was, that they put it on the comp card, you
Yeah.
know? So you could see what that girl looks like. Now it's like you get the same Polaroid where every girl looks the same, you know? It's like they're all beautiful, you know? So which one do you pick? And on top of picking that, then you got to go and convince executives, you know, hey, this is
the
yeah.
girl.
A lot of the other really big time photographers, they don't have to deal with that. They already have everything. I'm not that big time, you know. So I will get there, but not yet. You know, I'm not there yet. So I still have to go through all this convincing, you know, and
I think you're being pretty humble because you work with a lot of major magazines and major
I work with- yeah, I
clients,
work-
major modeling agencies.
I'm very lucky. I work very hard, you know. Again, and I love to create. I do it all for creativity. And if you fit into the photograph, and if we think of this photograph, whatever it is, you will be in that photograph. I will make sure that you get in that photograph. And if it's a place where we got to have, you know, we're going to have it and we're going to do it. And that's the passion of, that's the producer in me, you know, which you have the same thing. You know, a lot of
Definitely.
people don't know is I seen her a couple of years ago and she's like, yeah, I'm going to produce this show. I'm like, yeah, you know, thousands of people talk about producing a show and doing a show and only few do it, you know? So if you're serious about it, you just do it. And that's what I love about Kimberly. She just did it. She's like, I'm doing it, you know? Whether she has 1 camera, 10 cameras, 5 cameras, or 50 cameras, she's doing it. And she's on the air and the episodes are continuing, cities are getting added. That's a real producer, you know?
Yeah.
So I am the same way in photography, you know? So
Yeah.
everybody's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just doing this shot, you know? So,
That's really cool. Thank you so much for saying
hey,
that.
thank you so much, and thank you for having me, you know?
Yeah, I love it. I could talk to you for a lot longer, trust me, because I don't know if you know this, but when I was a teenager, I had a modeling contract.
Oh.
And I used to do that for about a year. And so it's a really interesting industry to me. And, you know, you have a lot of cool insight that I think a lot of people would appreciate. And other than that, just everybody else that, you know, is in the audience, the viewers and stuff, should definitely go and, like, find you and find your website and
Yes.
find all your Instagram. So why don't you let everybody know where to find you?
Yes, everything on social media is basically my name, Tolga Katas. So most freshest I keep up to date is the Tumblr, tolgakatas.tumblr.com. Facebook is facebook.com/Tolga Katas. My Instagram is instagram.com/Tolga Katas. So once you can find Tolga Katas,
So it's pretty much Tolga Katas.
yes,
pretty
it's
much,
pretty much,
like everywhere.
me. And all these new social media things that are coming out, and we're adding him and adding
Like
him.
Periscope,
Periscope,
and all that stuff.
Tolga
right?
Katas, yes,
Okay, awesome.
yes.
Well,
and thank you
I'm-
so much.
Yes, thank you.
Let's shoot.
Honestly, you're amazing. Thank you. The
Okay.
fact that you want to shoot me is like wow. So thank you.
When I was a child, my mother said, don't dwell on the regrets of the day, 'cause worry and fear will never fall shallow, man, and your soul's much deeper than oceans. You could drift away. There's a sea in you.
Thank you so much for Now I messed up. Okay. Thank you so much for watching the amazing photographer Tolga Katas on
Red Booth.